Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Happy Tuesday. Good morning. Hope everybody is well. Hope is having a great morning. Spoke yesterday about this idea of how important it is to be in control. I want to talk a little bit about how to get there in another way. So there's a lot of research behind how does one overcome certain challenges, and we've been going through it right now here on the show. By understanding the mind, by recognizing the thoughts, visibility to thoughts, right? It's a long practice, and I hope that you'll do it. I hope that you'll get the at bats. There's no winning and losing. There's no like you got it or don't got it. You don't master it until you're probably too old. Your mind's active. You got a lot going on. Like, don't worry about it. Just get in the game. Gain some visibility to why you do what you do. Slow down and feel the emotions come up, and train yourself to resist the actions. Like, just get in the game. It's awesome. It's hard, but it's awesome. But I want to change it up a little bit and talk about an important piece to how to do this. And there's two ways to. I read this somewhere. I forgot where I read this. It was in a Torah book. I forgot where. It was the author gave an example. If you bought a forest, right, and you want to knock it down to build, the property on it, right? So there's two ways to do it, right? You go tree by tree and you knock down trees. Or if it's too many trees, you set it on fire. Now, I'm not suggesting doing this, and there are ecological issues, but let's just stay with it. For those who are thinking this, just stay with me into the example, right? So in life, sometimes, like, if you want to overcome your challenges, right, the way to do it is you go tree by tree, right? Just thought by thought, right? So this is what we've been talking about. Encounter by encounter. What am I thinking? Visibility in my thoughts, conditioning of behavior, code by code, right? Neuroplasticity by neuroplasticity, tree by tree, knock down tree. Sometimes there's too many trees. It's exhausting. You don't have patience. You get to the end of the day and you're exhausted. What do? So the answer is you got to burn down the forest, because it'll take care of all the trees to fire, which means in example land, you got to find something to be on fire about. You see, the only way to clear the forest, if you're not going to cut down the trees, is to find fire. In life, the way in which you grow, that's not moment to moment, which is an important growth, it's the ground troops, is by finding something that lights you up, that's even more important than the thing that you're doing. For example, you are engaged in working and you're exhausted or unmotivated or it's hard, and then you stop and you find the reason. You remind yourself, you pick a project that you want to do, or you take what you're doing and you put it into one unified mission, and you give yourself a goal, and it excites you. What you're doing is you are elevating outside the forest. If you have a team, if you have a family, if you have a group of friends, and everyone's in their own spaces, you have an executive committee, you have a nonprofit, right? You have a community, and everyone's doing their own little things. Everyone's in their own little trees, if you will. The way you get them to stop focusing on the trees and to go further is you find fire. You find a unified mission that is more important than their trees, and you attach them to that mission. You find a goal, you find a project, you find an initiative that is beyond, that is exciting to be a part of. You create a date in the future that is not too close but not too far, that you can get excited about working towards. So if you're doing this work and you're finding like you're struggling, find something, a value you want to own. I want to have integrity. I want to increase my integrity. I want to increase my fearlessness. I want to increase my empathy. So, Rosh Hashanah time, Labor Day weekend, depending on if you keep Rosh Hashanah or not. Right? End of the year. I can see it. when I'm at that moment, I can almost I could taste it. I can pick a date into the future that's not too far and say, by then I want to master more than I have right now. Fearlessness, empathy. I want to be better to my spouse. I want to be much better as a father, as a mother. I want to be organized. I want to create this peace between this family. I want to launch this project I always wanted to do. There's a goal that I put in front of me, and I am excited about that goal. And when you do that, what happens is, as you get down into the trees, if you will, I gotta be more empathetic. I gotta see someone else's mind. What's that thing in my head? Do I have to listen to my thoughts? You know, that whole stuff that we're talking about. When you go back in the trees, they're already half burnt because you're bought into the mission. You have a company or a group of people that are just bickering with each other. They're bickering because they're in the world of trees. Just give them a mission that they buy into and say, by this point, it's going to be different. And let's go, guys. Let's go, ladies. And they start to bind together because the way your brain works is that it will find the highest value that you need to do in order to get through the day. And so if all it is survival, it'll survive. But if you give it thriving, if you give it something greater, if you give it an attachment to something bigger than yourself, then you are satisfying yourself at a spiritual level as well. Spiritually, we know we are more than what is contained in our bodies. That's why we love connecting. So when you give me a task, when you give me a project, when you give me a mission, when you give me a movement, what's happening is I am attaching myself through my hands to something greater than myself. It is almost like a spiritual experience. Which is why I'll work harder, right? That's why in camp, you're like complaining to you getting up early for whatever, and then it's color war, and you're up at 5 a.m. Color war is a made up nothing. It's a synthetic. It's not real, and yet kids go insane for color war. They're up till 2 o'clock in the morning. They're making paintings that no one will ever look at again. They're making songs no one will ever sing. They're diving over the cliff to catch the ball to get 3 more points so that their team can win the relay races. They're doing crazy things. You ever go to camp? Remember color war? And then the day after the moment they announce the winners, it's who cares? It's amazing. People are crying that the blue team lost by, it's always 15 points, right? And then an hour later, people go red, and they're what? Oh, color war, right? It's over. The next day you wear red all day. You're the biggest loser in the camp. Because color war is this incredible made up goal, movement you can be part of. We love being part of stuff. That's why you go to sports games, so that you can cheer in unison. That's why you go to a sports game and the guy you may not see on the street and say hello to, you're slapping 5 and hugging if the guy catches a touchdown pass. There's unity in the stadium. There's unity in things that make us feel good. When you create goals that are bigger than yourself, that move you, that include other people, or that bring you to a higher level, you allow your brain to get out of the forest a little bit and create more and more momentum to accomplish your goals. I will talk about this. All right, everybody, have a great day. God's help, I can't wait to see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.
Living on a lifeline, the world doesn't ever seem to change. Looking for the sunshine, but you're caught up in the rain. It's like your eyes are wide open, but you cannot see. You're watching life pass you by 1, 2, 3. Walking in destruction, the winds of life blur your vision. All the devastation forever feels like you're on the run. It's time, no one else can set you free. You're locked inside, and only you have got the key.